Hello and welcome to a Vintage Cube Draft. We have quite the pack to start. Two pieces of power, also Ugin Eye of the Storms, which I really want to try at some point. It's probably the card getting the most hype from the new set, and I do think it's quite good. I mean, way better than Karn Liberated, which I used to like in Vintage Cube. But I'm not going to be taking it over one of these two here. Kind of a close pick between these two, actually quite a close pick. I think I'm going to take the Ancestral. It kind of comes down to personal preference. They're both absolutely incredibly powerful. My guess is that high level cube players it would be divided on which one of these two is better. Seems like the consensus is that Time Walk is better than Ancestral, and Time Walk is also better than Mox. But Ancestral might be a little bit lower. But I mean, I just love this card so much. It's so powerful, and I do think I'm going to take it. It pigeonholes us a little bit more. Like this lets you be in any color, and this just puts you in blue. But still, it's Ancestral Recall. I'm going to take it. Okay, now we can take Hull Breacher, which turns our Ancestral Recall into Dark Ritual, funnily. You can play it on them. That's probably not normally how we're going to be casting this card, but I will take it. It's a great pickup. Outside of the Hull Breacher, there's a couple fetch lands. There's also Sneak Attack. Good card. This is the sort of card where you want to note that you're passing it because you should not try to go into Blue Red Sneak after passing the card Sneak Attack. So, yeah, worth noting. But Hull Breacher's good. Sadly, the Dak Faden is unlikely to wheel, but Dak Faden is amazing with Hull Breacher, where you get to make them discard two cards and you make two treasures yourself. Yeah, I'll take this. It's probably the most powerful card in the pack, also in our colors, and lets us cut blue. Okay, so we could take this and go sneak attack. No, I think I'm gonna take the preordain. There's an argument to taking either Thundering Falls or Tundra. Thundering Falls is traditionally better for Hull Breacher decks because it lets you play Wheel of Fortune, whereas in blue white, like white does not give you any of the draw seven combo stuff. And just in general, Hull Breacher is kind of more of a combo card. Blue red is more of a combo color combination, and Tundra is just like control. Still, I would maybe take the Tundra having passed Act, but if there was no preordain. But with the preordain, I'll just take this. Excellent pickup. Obviously, much worse than Ancestral Recall, but I like having it in an Ancestral deck because they incentivize us to play similar stuff like Snapcaster Mage. Okay, nice. There's an Echo of Eons, fourth pick. It's not as good as Time Twister, but very good in our Hull Breacher deck. I will be taking it. Noting we're passing more solid blue-red stuff. Could be a good Chrome Mox deck. Spars Headquarters is fine, but I will take the Echo. Interesting. So there's Shorikai, which so normally blue white is not the deck color combination you want for this, but when we have Echo of Eons, it is more tempting to take this because it's a good discard outlet. We also did just pass the Tundra though. I think I'm still just gonna stay mono blue and take Stern Scolding. It's a powerful card and it plays well. Just like cheap interaction is always gonna be good. So yeah, we'll take the Stern Scolding. Okay, I think I will take the Fractured Identity now. I realize we passed Tundra and Shorikai, so blue-white might get cut. But this is way stronger than Shorikai. I guess Memory Jar is also kind of a consideration, but not really. Also, some consideration to Creeping Tar Pit. Blue-black is potentially the most common color combination for a Hull Breacher deck because you get a lot of redundancy. It doesn't give you any more draw sevens, but it does give you Orcish Bowmasters and Shieldred potentially. But sixth pick, Fractured Identity. I think I will just take this. We might not end up playing blue white, but I think it is the right pick. Now I see Zagoth Triumph versus Brain Surge. Kind of close. I think I'm going to take the Brain Surge, though. This is good again if we end up playing blue black. I don't know how likely green is, but I'm going to take the powerful card draw effect in our primary color. And we're still very uncommitted on this. We could easily be any color combination, really. I think I will take Sunken Ruins here. True Nemesis is pretty good, but not really the kind of deck we're looking to build. Um, Wasteland also pretty good, but I think Sunken Ruins is the pick. So now we're back to our first pack. If we wheel deck, that would be phenomenal. I think that's quite unlikely. Um, the big question will be if we end up wheeling some of the blue-white stuff that we were passing. We can wheel disrespect to this card. However, we will carry on the train of disrespect and take no more lies. Pretty interesting to see this blue-white card wheeling. That could be an open lane. Okay. I think I'm going to take Prismatic Vista over Dam. Dam is nice too. It is a board sweeper if we're just blue-white control. And that is valuable, but I think it's still better to take the Vista. Yeah. All right. Unfortunately, we did not wheel the Tundra. Not too surprised, but it is too bad. Don't think we're ever Omnathing here. I mean, yeah, that just seems like it's kind of a stretch. But also probably not playing Pillage the Bog. Guess I'll take a land. Okay. Yeah, not getting the late wheels here. It is too bad to have missed out on the Tundra and the Shorikai. I guess I'll take Fire Ice. Now I'll take a Speculative Cauldra for a possible Stoneforge package. All right, not getting the super late packs. So it's TBD. We have Fractured Identity, No More Lies. The core of the deck is this blue deck with like card draw and Hole Breacher, and then the draw 7 thing. And we'll still like sort of TBD on the second splash color still. Would have been really nice to just wheel Tundra and Shorikai, but oh well. All right, there's a Time Twister. That's pretty awesome. Passing Volcanic Island, also passing Fury, so pretty good blue-red stuff, and a bunch of reanimation stuff. But yeah, Time Twister's excellent in our Hole Breacher deck. And now we can really start going in on this more. Like at this point, I might even take Narset over like a Mox, like a Narset over Mox Emerald. At this point is a very realistic line. Um, few possibilities here. One is Talisman of Creativity. One is Verdant Catacombs. If we end up being blue black, or it could even help us with blue white. Weirdly, there's Brazen Borrower, which is fine, and there's also Fabled Passage. I actually think I'm just gonna take a Fabled Passage. Not a super exciting pick, but I think it's reasonable. Underworld Breach also gets somewhat of a mention, I guess, but yeah, I'm gonna take the Fabled Passage. And I like that our fetch lands are very flexible. Oh, all right, there's Narset. So we're pretty in on this combo now. Shelldock Isle's nice, but yeah, I will take the Narset. Now we have 2 Punishers and 2 Draw 7 effects, which is just excellent. What to pair with it though? Our fixing is kind of all colors. There's Wrath of God if we want to be blue-white, and there's Baleful Strix if we want to be blue-black. Which again, I think all else being equal, I would actually prefer to be blue-black because of just how high of a pick Shieldred would be at this point. We also have better fixing for blue-black, although we have better spells for blue-white. I think I'm gonna take the Baleful Strix here. Yeah, I'll take a Shieldred Edict now. I think I'm gonna commit to this year. Occult Epiphany is a consideration as well. It's good with Echo of Eons, but I think I'd rather have some cheap removal, and like that is very, very important. If you play Narset Time Twister, but you just have no removal in our dead on board, it doesn't really matter. Interesting. So Jace is another direction we could go. Try to go into Doomsday. I think I would rather take Wishclaw Talisman because this is kind of a combo deck. I mean, we have some control elements potentially, but we are sort of combo first and foremost. I think this is a pretty interesting start. Just blue black combo, cut this white stuff. It's not like blue black is incredibly open, but I think it's pretty open. Interesting. So there's Sunfall, a third white sweeper going around, but I think I'm gonna pass it as well. And there's Thespian Stage. We saw that Vampire Hexmage, so we could try to wield that and also be playing this other combo. But I honestly think I'd rather just take the Urborg here, and then like if Thespian Sage and Vampire Hexmage wheel, we can go into that. But otherwise, we'll just have like better fixing. Oh, but now here we see a bunch of good white stuff. Hmm. Not really a balanced deck. I'm not that interested in Emperor of Bones. I think I'm going to take Celestial Colonnade for a potential. I mean, we could be just Esper. We do see Bleachbone Verge. Like, how likely is it that we actually just go Esper? We have 2 fetches that can get white. I think that's probably better than taking anything else. I mean, not that interested in like Attracts or anything. Yeah, I'll take this. Charge is kind of interesting because it's a way to discard Echo Vions, and it's also just like a solid removal spell. Brazen Borrower plays well with the draw 7s, but I think I actually like taking Bone Shards here. Golden Shinobi is a very strong card, but not that good in this deck. We only have Baleful Strength that it works particularly well with, so I actually think I'm going to take the Preacher of the Schism. Better is, well, I'll take the Shinobi. It is just so much more powerful than that. We probably won't get there, but we could. Now we see Spellseeker. I think that is the pick. Phantasmal Image, not playing any of the super late stuff. So still kind of TBD on the White Splash. Probably wouldn't play it for just these two, but if we also see Little Teferi or something, that'd be nice. But all right, on to pack three. This is the core of the deck. We're hoping for. I mean, best case scenario would be getting another Punisher. Like Orcish Bowmasters is probably the best card outside of like Time Walk or Mox. Huh, well, Time Walk and no Time Walk, but we got a Mox. It is not the best Mox. Leovold is kind of interesting. We could try to play that. I guess we did. We saw some late blue green fixing and we didn't take it, unfortunately. But I mean, no, definitely taking the Mox here. That's awesome. Ponder would be an amazing wheel, although not that likely. Interesting. So Mana Vault is incredibly powerful. This isn't the best deck for using it, but it's not the worst either. We could be a solid Mana Vault deck. Also, Airtie Resurrected is actually quite strong in this deck. It's very good with Hull Breacher and with Narset, especially Hull Breacher. But I think I'm just going to take a Subtlety. Free interaction pairs well with a card draw, and we also just do need a little bit more interaction. Yeah, let's take the Subtlety, and then hopefully try to wheel the Airtie. Shieldred, that's beautiful. One of the best possible. I think it is worse than Orcish Bowmasters, but still, it is very, very strong. Now, I think it's Spell Pierce. I do like Teferi, and we could. That's the kind of card that would make us want to splash white, but our curve will just look way better if we just cut these, add another one drop, and go lower to the ground. And it's particularly good, like, now that we have Shieldred too, we're going even more in on the combo, so we can take the cheap interaction and protect our combo. This deck looks excellent. Okay, Ledger Shredder and Consider are both pretty nice, but we could also take Infernal Grasp, which it's an interesting trade-off. Consider is more all in on the combo, but I do want some more cheap interaction, and we really don't have much. So, as much as I do want Consider for this deck, I think Infernal Grasp is actually the pick. Wow, Snapcaster Mage. That looks amazing here. Uro, not really a card we need. Yeah, Snapcaster in our Ancestral Recall deck is just perfect. Mana Leak, also perfect. Caustic Bronco would be maybe playable, but Mana Leak is much better. We are a little light on counter magic, which is fine, but still good to pick this up. Now I'm going to take more counter magic. Brainstorm and Thought Scour are both pretty good as well. Thought Scour can mill over Echo Aviant potentially, and then Soul Guide Lantern is good graveyard hate, but I think a cheap counter spell is just too good to pass here. Ooh, so there's Leovold at Wield. I just don't think that's really a good plan for us though. With pretty bad. I mean, we have actually solid fixing for just blue black. We could try to play like one forest and then have 4 green sources, but we already have 3 of the Punisher effect. Like, if we were in a situation where we had like 3 draw 7s and then only 1 Hull Breacher, we could take this. But this is the part of the combo that we actually have more of. So I think I'd rather just take a Baleful Mastery here. I think that's better than Harvester, especially because it does have the Hull Breacher synergy. Frantic Surge, Time Warp are fine, but yeah, Baleful's great. All right, this deck is looking phenomenal. What are the cuts? I think we can cut this if we're not playing any red. We just passed Leovold, so we don't need green. Deathrite Shaman. It's between Life Death and Hedge Maze, and I just don't think we care about Life Death, so I'll take this. Not going to play it just as a Surveil land, but if we wheel Deathrite, we could play it as a slight value add. I'll take Spire Bluff Canal, which could be okay if we end up ever playing Fire Ice. We're like really not going to ever be playing any of these, but I guess I'll take Rain of Filth. Deathrite would actually be a nice late wheel. Consider, also very nice late wheel. That's amazing. Don't think we're playing green. Also not going to main deck Enduring Curiosity, but it's at least a good sideboard card. I think we play Spellseeker because it can find our Ancestral Recall. And probably just run it like this with 17 lands. So this gives us 9, 10, 11, 12 blue, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 black. I think I'm going to go up 1 more blue. Keeping in mind that we have both Urborg and Sunken Ruins, which gives us double black. It's pretty nice for Shieldred. Yeah, this deck looks very, very good. Just like tons of cheap card selection, At this point, 3 cheap counter spells, which is solid, and 3 cheap removal spells, and then this really powerful combo, or 4 cheap removal spells actually. And then yeah, 2 draw 7s, 3 punishers, just a really, really powerful deck. I put our trophy odds at least 69%, and I'll see you in right now. We win the die roll, great start. This hand is not exciting. I think on the draw it'd be a little too clunky, but I'm gonna keep it on the play on the strength of Ancestral Recall. Definitely not like a great hand though, and there's an argument to mulliganing. Skyclave Apparition. That's pretty bad against our deck. You get to do the most powerful start Magic, lead on Island, Island, go. They just 100% are going to think we have a counterspell here, and they might play around it. Right. Spellseeker pretty good against Intrepid Adversary here. Gonna jam that over the Narset. Narset's more of a combo card than a card advantage engine in this deck. If they Skyclave our Spellseeker, that's a really good exchange for us. Okay, I'm just gonna take this 4. Um, I'm actually gonna main phase Baleful Mastery this. Oh, I guess it's better to upkeep it so we don't get wrecked by Mana Tithe. But just playing Ancestral, I mean, I guess we could just ignore this maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna let, if they want to make a copy of this Intrepid Adversary, that's actually fine. We can even go Ancestral Snap Ancestral, which is like kind of greedy, but also excellent value. So if we play Snap Ancestral, we're gonna go up to 10 cards in hand, and then just have to discard a couple cards to hand size. I think I'm just gonna block and just save some life, and then the hold up Mana Leak, and then go for one of our removal spells if they don't do anything. Okay, I don't care about this that much, but I do just want to be trading resources here, so I'll Mana Leak. Untap, go land, Sheoldred's Edict. And then we'll pass with Snap Ancestral up. So just playing like a control deck here, which is definitely a lane that this deck can take. This is why blue-black is more powerful than green-white and Vintage Cube. No play, alright. There's a Hull Breacher. Just gonna play Narset and pass. Not even gonna use the Narset because I don't want to discard the hand size. And I think I will let this resolve. Yeah, I'll let this resolve. If I didn't have Hull Breacher, I might defend it, but this seems fine. Um, I'm gonna let this resolve and just play Hull Breacher. I just don't really care about this thing. Now we can dig for a combo card. I'll keep that, but for this turn, we're just gonna play Baleful Strix. And then pass with Counter Magic up, or with Brain Surge up. This looks like something that's gonna get countered, and yes, it will. They have no attacks. So we could go for Brain Surge now, digging for Time Twister, but I'm actually going to play Shieldred first. Because this lets us draw a bunch of cards. Or gain a bunch of life. Okay, put back these two. Gain a ton of life. And then I'll pass with Spell Pierce up. Or with Subtlety up. They're fighting the good fight. I mean, we're just so far up on resources, but it's not over. Skyclave Apparition, we'll see which one of our dudes they take out. I think I'm not going to Subtlety this, I'll just let them take out the Shieldred. Okay, now we go for the kill. So let's go play this, play this. 2 mana for Baleful Mastery on this, which of course gives us just the treasure token. Now we can use Wishclaw Talisman, find our Time Twister, cast Time Twister. Then I'll just take their thing out. Hit for 4, and it's looking pretty good. We have 8 treasure tokens, 4 counter spells. We could even go Snapcaster Time Twister to refill our hand and make 7 more clues if we want to. They can use this Wishclaw, but all this is going to do is give us information about their deck. All right, pretty dominant first performance. I mean, this game actually, it took a little while to close out, but we've just been completely in the driver's seat for the entire game. Don't have much of a sideboard, to be honest, so just going to be running it back. All right, pretty solid start against Poseidon MTG. We are going to be on the draw, which will make things a little tougher. And the card Palace Jailer is good against our deck. It's kind of tempting to bring Phantasmal Image, which is great against Palace Jailer and pretty good against Skyclave. Whoops. Do we have anything we don't want, though? One other removal. I do think we probably want the Spell Pierce. I didn't see a ton of stuff that it hits, but just having a 1-mana interactive spell is pretty valuable. Could consider cutting a land on the draw, but we have kind of a high curve. I think I'm gonna make this exchange. Wishclaw was good that game, but that was also a game where we were gonna win no matter what. Like it's good where you have Hullbreacher in play and you haven't drawn anything yet, and you have a million lands and they can't interact with you. That's just like a pretty specific situation. I think I'll just go with like a little bit more of a interactive plan. All right, good hand. I'll keep this. Or not a great hand, but I think it's good enough. I'm gonna save this Fabled Passage for the Brain Surge. If I didn't have Brain Surge, I would probably play it on turn 1 just to thin the deck and take a Swamp out of there. But it seems better. All right, very happy to see a Drago start. They might have a Felia or something, but there's definitely not a mad. Like, Drago is very, very good for us. Okay, that's fine. We could actually offer the Snapcaster trade. No, no, we're gonna have Ancestral. I think it's worth it to just hold it. Like, in general, trading off resources is something I'm interested in, but that's just like Snapcaster is gonna be so much better than that. They've honestly just had extremely anemic draws both games, at least in the early turns. Yeah, I'll take this. Okay, I'll Ancestral in response. If we find a Spell Pierce or something, I'll cast it. Alright, it resolves. It's gonna fire off Snapcaster here. We're gonna likely end up discarding hand size, but trading off these creatures is kind of nice. We can dig for Mox, and yeah, I mean, even if we discard a card to hand size, that's fine. Okay, we find Sheoldred. So yeah, I'm just gonna go cast Sheoldred and then go to discard. And we have Stern Scolding, which can counter Palace Jailer or Skyclave Apparition. Six cards on the last turn, so discarding three is fine. They play Get Lost in the Sheoldred, that will resolve, but if they go for Palace Jailer, we Stern Scolding it, untap, Time Twister, that should definitely win. Such a blowout there, that's crazy. Right. Go Mox, Island, Time Twister. Put a bunch of triggers on the stack. This puts them down to 4, and then we just have the attack for lethal, unless they have Solitude, but we also had multiple answers to that. So very, very dominant performance in the first round. Hopefully we can continue in round 2. We did have slow draws. Like our first play in both games was just tapping out for a 1-1 on turn 3, and they didn't really capitalize on that. But I think that demonstrated like the late game power of this deck is just completely unbeatable. And the consistency is also going to be pretty high with all the cantrips. Power level is really high. Just like the only thing we're missing is a lot of 1 mana interactive spells. Like we don't have a lot of cheap spot removal, so cards like Ragavan could be tough. But we just want to play against slow decks and just dominate them. Being on the play helps. Man, this hand is so mid. We could just mulligan Ancestral, but we also do have all our colors and interaction for the early turns. I think I'm gonna keep it again with just the theory that like this deck's weakness is early interaction, and so a hand that can have like they can interact multiple times in the early turns is I think good enough to keep. But definitely an argument to shipping this one. That's fine. Yep, that was a great draw. Takes us out of subtlety, but that's fine. I go for main phase consider. That's a pretty good one. Probably worth keeping. And then I'm gonna pass and just leave this back to block. We don't care about damage at all. So I'll just do this in case we're able to like I would honestly just trade this Baleful Strix for the 1-1 here. Don't care about the 1-1 too much. Maybe we just take one actually. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna take one. Okay. Could subtlety that. What I'm going to do is play Ancestral in response. Okay, I mean, I definitely don't want to pitch. Yeah, so we'll just let this resolve. I'll go fetch land, Mox, pass turn. And then our hope is that they like make a dude and we can Hull Breacher in response. I think I will just fetch here to take a swamp out of the deck. I'll just do this trade. They passed, it's kind of annoying. But it is what it is. I mean, they're just like, we don't get to get them now. But I think we still want to be mana efficient. Okay, this is, I mean, we're flooding very hard. We could certainly lose this game. Let's pass with subtlety up. Yeah, actually, we might just be losing, which is kind of crazy, but we've drawn what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's gone through 10 mana sources. Sources. Tough. I guess I'll just fetch again back then. Like at this point, we have very few lands left in the deck, so taking one out actually does kind of notably decrease our chances of drawing a land. So what they should probably do is make a 1/1 with now. Well, I guess either way we can kill the Teferi. Yeah, we take this hit. They sack one of these to make a flyer, which lets them draw a card before we can stop that. Looking for, I mean, the best draw would of course be Time Twister. That would just win the game immediately. The other best draw would be Snapcaster Mage. Wishclaw Talisman. Okay, so that would do we have 9 mana? No, we're 1 mana short of that. Kind of unfortunate. Let's go land. Infernal Grasp this. Attack to Fairy. That just seems like a crazy line to take. I mean, I guess they must have another removal spell. I think I'm actually gonna kill the Teferi like this. It's kind of weird, and it's pretty all in. But this way we can like play Hull Breacher around Sorcerer Speed removal. We're probably gonna lose though. I mean, if they have a way to stop this combo, then we are just dead. Okay, that doesn't do much. So Counterspell would seal it out pretty much. Narset's also pretty good. Grab, Time Twister. So it's kind of interesting. If we play Narset, it stops them from like we only get one treasure token. But I think I'm still gonna do it because it's so much better if they have a removal spell, which is kind of likely. It's like just a hedge. I think we can win without getting all the treasure tokens too. Oh, wait, this is actually so much worse if they have Spell Pierce, but okay, they don't. That's good. Oh wait, we still got the treasure tokens. Nice. I wasn't sure how that would work, but works the way we wanted it to. Let's just take out this, making another treasure token. Um, and it's Narset taking for counterspell. Get a flyer into play. And then I'll pass the Snap Baleful Mastery up. Or actually, I guess that we don't even have that up, but I'll just pass. We can't really lose from this position, I think. They do have the Wishclaw Talisman, I guess. So that gives us another treasure token. We don't have any board sweepers, actually, so these tokens could be kind of annoying. Do we have any good ways to deal with the Retrofitter Foundry? Not really. I mean, I guess Sheoldred can probably just overpower whatever they're doing. Actually, could be weird though. It's possible that just like our entire deck versus this Retrofitter Foundry could be kind of hard. Especially like the worst case scenario here, they'd get Gaia's Cradle and just start going crazy with this thing, and we just have no ways to deal with it. Sure. Still have Narset. So we won't get a treasure token, but they also won't get a dude. Or they won't get a card. They do get the dude. I'm not going to fire off a Sheoldred Edict here. Just going to untap and then attack. I'm kind of hoping they go for a mass block. I guess now they make a 4/4. It's kind of annoying. I mean, it feels like there's just no way to lose this game, but it weirdly, like, is kind of maybe we could lose. Okay, let's send them both at Oko. I guess our plan is just like let them kill our Narset and our Hull Breacher and then go for Sheoldred with a draw 7. That's probably the cleanest way to get this one. All right. Sacrifice a Planeswalker. I mean, minus Narset because again, it's kind of bait. I actually want them to kill this thing. I'll take a removal spell. Play the Sheoldred and pass. So if they have an answer to the Sheoldred, things could actually get kind of hairy here. And they do. Wow. Okay, we could somehow. I mean, I think we're gonna win, but maybe not. We have a million cards. 14. Take out our guy. Tap. What do we have left in our deck? None of this does much. Guess I'll take an Infernal Grasp. Yeah, we're just gonna lose. Oh my god, this is a crazy, crazy game. I guess what we need to do is not play out the Shieldred. Of course, them just like top decking an answer there sucks, and then we drew Stern Scolding the turn after. But now Shieldred's gone for good. Like, how are we gonna actually push through this much damage? I think we cannot win this game. God, I'm gonna be pretty upset if we lose this one, to be honest. Um, yeah, this resolves. They just have they have their card draw going now. We need to get this Hull Breacher dead. We could have killed our own Hull Breacher, I guess. They're just going so wide though, and we don't have that many win conditions in our deck. I mean, we just rely on them conceding to, like, for obvious reasons. Oh my god, now they get to bring back Oko. This is awful. We actually just, I think, lose. What? I'm gonna kill this. Snapcaster Mage. Exile this. Tap. And Echo. It's gonna go to the graveyard. They're gonna get a new hand, but our plan is to find Hull Breacher or Narset off this Echo and then flash it back. So I'm gonna fire off 2 removal spells here, and then play the Echo. Opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. Then kill their 4/4. Like Echo to take out their hand. Then just attack with both. Let's turn. This Retrofitter Foundry, though, they can just go off with the Retrofitter Foundry. Spellseeker. Getting, I guess, Shieldred Edict. Go to combat. We still have a Time Twister in our deck, so we can redraw a 7 again. I mean, I've made a few blunders this game, I'm sure, but the biggest one was just jamming Shieldred and giving him an opportunity to kill it. It was super, super unlikely that they would top deck an answer in that one turn, but I exposed it to that, and there was just no need to do that. Right, pass turn. What a weird game. It also just pretty rough that we have just no answers to this Retrofitter Foundry that's made like 20 creatures over the course of the game. Do we have anything that would be good in this position? Like, just play like one Cauldron as a win condition? That just can't be right, though. I mean, I just need to play tighter with my Shieldred. Yeah, I'm gonna ancestral myself, taking for a Hull Breacher. Yeah, I think we're gonna lose to Mill this game. We did not end up getting the Jace, so that's not something we could do. Yeah, we'll just go to discard, pitch to land. They do have a pretty good token deck. And tokens are a weakness of this deck because again, we just don't have any board sweepers or like we have a couple spot removal spells, but don't have good ways to deal with decks going wide. I mean, we honestly don't have any outs that we're playing to. I don't think we can like keep on just reshuffling the same spot removal spells, but we're just gonna lose. I could like try to time them out. That's just like not the way I like to play though. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's any possible way to win this game. Is there any way we could somehow mill them? Snapcaster in exile? No, it's not. Actually work. We set up a turn where we go Snapcast, Ancestral, Snapcaster, Ancestral, make them draw 6 cards. Because our left field is still pretty high, and they won't necessarily play around that. Yeah, I think that actually is a real path to victory, crazily enough. So the way to set that up optimally would be to basically just wait as long as we can before playing the Time Twister, so they'd have more cards in play. Missed an opportunity to counter something there. Sheoldred Edict, sacrifice a non-token creature. Calculate, we get a 2/2 to block. Unclear if they have a bunch of counter magic in their deck. So we'll go Bone Shards, kill this. Actually, no, let's kill Bone Shards, kill this. Time Twister. And land go. Actually, no, I guess we Bone Charge again. Actually, no, I'm gonna hold the Bone Shards. And try to basically get them to draw extra cards with it. I'm hoping they'll equip Skull Clamp to something. And it actually really sucks that we didn't draw Snapcaster Mage or Ancestral Recall. Okay, so I'm gonna go. That's annoying. Play Hull Breacher. Play Infernal Grasp. And then I'll fire off a Mana Leak just to tap them lower on mana so they can't use Retrofitter Foundry as much. And then let this resolve. Oh, that is lethal. Wow. What a crazy game. Hull Breacher, I don't think I've ever lost when I've played Hull Breacher or Time Twister before. And that is the first. I guess it's not an auto win combo. What a crazy game. All right, well, gotta win games 2 and 3 now. So they're playing this like very weird mid range deck. Honestly, it should be a good matchup as long as we just like keep our Sheoldred. I think I'm just gonna run it back. Although this is the kind of matchup where Fractured Identity shines. But yeah, let's run it back. Didn't see a lot of counter magic. They do have Swords of Plowshares, which is good to know about. Retrofitter Foundry was a beating, and we just don't have any way. I guess Fractured Identity is the only way for us to deal with that. But Retrofitter Foundry is the reason they won that game. They just didn't need to cast spells because every single turn they could just sink like 8 mana into that. They probably spent in the total of that game like 40 plus mana on their 1-drop artifact. Pretty wild stuff. Actually, maybe we actually should be playing white though, also for the Colonnade. Okay, I'll keep this hand. Hullbreacher plus Time Twister with Subtlety up is pretty nice. We also have Consider to dig for extra lands. Please don't have Retrofitter Foundry. Should I just concede if they have it? Okay. Love that card in this deck, but gotta graveyard it here. Mox would be amazing draw. Notably, I don't want to pitch any of these cards to Subtlety if I can avoid it. Okay, nice. If they crack the clue, I will fire. I will play the Hullbreacher. Like it opens us up to them killing it, but feels like that's still got to be the right line. Okay. This should be enough to win. So I'm just gonna play it. We could get greedy, like kind of greedy and play Ancestral on them as like a dark ritual, but there's just no reason to do that here. Okay, so we win game 2 very quickly. They concede quickly to save time. And again, if we were like trying to be really cutthroat, we could have slow rolled it a little bit. But we'll just win the game. On to game 3, on the draw. Do we want to try to bring in the white splash? And Fractured Identity is great. Normalize is fine, and Colonnade would be nice. Excuse me. How would this white splash be? We play 1 basic plains, and then we have 5 white sources. That actually seems kind of totally fine. Yeah, I think I like this plan. I'll cut Bone Shard, just not that exciting of a card here. Stern Scolding is not at its best, but it does have some good targets. I think I'm going to cut Wishclaw Talisman. Yeah, I think I like this plan for this matchup. It's honestly possible we should just be playing this in the main deck too, but yeah, in this slower matchup where they have some good stuff to Fracture Identity, I'll run it like this. Right? Good hand. It's kind of tempting not to Ancestral in turn 1 because we're just going to discard 2 cards to hand size if we do that. I would kind of rather use some interactive spells and then use that to refill. Granted, we could just have Snapcaster, so we could like use this as card selection and then flash it back for card advantage later, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Creature, yes. And if we can just curve like counter into counter into counter into Ancestral, that's a great plan. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna Ancestral here. Man, 1 mana short. Oh, that's a good card in general. I think I'm gonna graveyard it though, digging for something a little bit more proactive. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I was gonna considering playing main phase Hullbreacher, but if drawing that, I'm just gonna go to discard, pitch the Echo, and then like have a pretty nice plan here. I mean, we can just go for the combo kill if they tap out, and if they don't tap out, we're holding up counter magic, and we can even just go like Snapcaster Ancestral. Do we jam the Hullbreacher here? This card's actually pretty annoying for us. Initially, I'm gonna Snapcaster Stern Scolding this. We could play Hullbreacher, but that exposes it in a way that I don't want to do. We could also we're losing the ability to flashback Ancestral, which is why this is like a weird line. But when we have Echo of Eons in the graveyard, card draw is just not that much of a problem. And I want to like protect these to the extent that I can. Okay, but just pass. I think I will hit for 2. Like normally I don't care about damage, but in this matchup, like clearly they can potentially just survive. So we get to pass with Hullbreacher, snap, Spell Pierce up. If they like play draw go, that like I will just jam the Hullbreacher actually. Okay, they shock. Hit for 1. I'm not gonna play Hullbreacher now. I'm gonna do it end of turn. Skyclave Apparition. Okay. We can play around them having Swords to Plowshares here. Land would be a nice draw. Oh, huh. I guess I'll actually play this from my hand, funnily enough. No. I mean, it shouldn't matter. Spell Pierce, and they have 1 card left, so the only card in the format, I think the only card ever printed that does it here is Daze. Come on. Come on. Let's go. All right. So it's as we've learned the hard way, it's not necessarily over, but it feels like this has got to be a pretty good position for us. I'm actually gonna offer this trade, funnily enough. No, there's just no reason to do that. All right, pass. And we have Fractured Identity to take out the Retrofitter Foundry and should be able to pretty easily beat anything else. What does this have to... I mean, I guess we just get Ancestral. Unfortunately, we don't have a real counterspell here. But yeah, this should be pretty easy to win. They have no cards. We have Subtlety up. It's fun. I mean, they have confidence in their ability to win from this position for good reason. They did totally get us in game 1, but I think this is falling further and further out of reach for them now. Shieldred. Go to combat. Sure. Are dead. I mean, they're not technically dead on board, but we have many ways to deal with this. So now the question becomes, do we want to bring in the White Splash for match 3? It is pretty free, to be honest, but I think I'm just going to go fully streamlined. I just don't think Fractured Identity is important to this deck's game plan in the vast majority of matchups. And maybe it honestly wasn't in this one either. I know that we did lose despite comboing in game 1, but like I feel like that would happen under 1% of the time and probably under 0.1% of the time if we like actively played around it. All right, nice. So we take down round 2. On to the finals. Let's get that trophy. Not going to change the deck. We're just going to run it as is, and I'll see you there. Sadly, we're on the draw for the finals, but we do have a good hand. I'll keep. If they have a really fast start, it could be rough, but we have like 3 2-mana interactive spells. Oh, geez. Being on the draw against a Mox, though, is really not what you'd like to see. Okay, well, Tapland Spellbomb is exactly what you want to see after the Mox. Conditional on them leading on Mox Ruby. It doesn't get much better for us than this. But like we still have the shields down for a turn and they have 3 mana. This feels like a really significant turn. But with with Sheoldred's Edict and a Baleful Mastery, we're good against a lot of stuff. I guess if they go like Basalt Monolith and then ramp out something crazy, that would be bad. But alright, this is nice. Definitely not playing the Wishclaw Talisman here. Not a bad draw necessarily, but this is certainly a miscalculation situation. Alright. Yeah, definitely countering this. And now I will just jam the Talisman. I mean, not really much point in holding up these removal spells. Not going to be using it here, though, of course. Do we jam Brain Surge end of turn? I actually don't think I'm going to if they just pass with all their mana up. Kind of a situation where we can just be patient. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty bad if they have Counterspell. It's a huge blowout if they have their own Hull Breacher. And as long as we can have land drops, we can just wait a couple turns. They missed their land drop, nice. So in these games, whoever misses the first land drop is really disadvantaged. I'm just gonna keep playing Draw Go. Ancestral, of course, being the perfect draw. Okay. I think there's a good chance they crack this main phase digging. No, they don't. All right. Ancestral Recall. All right, I'm just gonna untap. Land go. Kind of weird. Like, there's obviously an argument to being more proactive here, but against a deck holding up all this blue mana, they're just. I mean, it depends. We might just lose to like some weird sneak attack sequence now, but oh, they have double Mox. Jeez. Although I guess we have Mox Ancestral. There's the Tolarian Academy. So at this point now, they just have the mana advantage and will for the rest of the game, almost no matter what. So I'm not. There's not much value in waiting at this point. Maybe there never was. Okay, this let it resolve. And exile it with the trigger on the stack. And a turn Infernal Grasp. If they counter this, that's fine. Okay, it resolves. Preordained, so I'll play that main phase. I mean, I want to find one of our combo pieces so we can go for the other. Don't think these are either of these will ever really be good. Okay, I'm gonna main phase this Brain Surge now. Kind of crazy we've gone through this much and we still haven't found anything. Okay, so now we do have it though, so we have one of the pieces. So we'll just pass now. And then our hope is we can set up a window where we can just like combo kill them without them having a bunch of stuff up. Take 7 total mana to use the Wishclaw, use the Time Twister, and play Hull Breacher. They do have Shelldock Isle up now. I really want to just trade down resources here. Like, if they counter this, I'm thrilled. Assault Monolith, okay. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have tons of mana with the Tolarian Academy. Alright, now I'm going to just Snapcaster Ancestral. I really wish we had 1 or 2 hard counters. All of our counters being soft counters makes these situations way harder. Okay, so they have 2 mana up. Now we actually can. We could soft counter something, but we don't have one. So drawing like a spell pierce would be great. Drawing island, not so much. I think we do go for it though. And I think I'm gonna go for Hull Breacher. Actually, maybe Narset's better. It doesn't give us treasure tokens, but I don't think treasure tokens matter that much. And Narset's a lot harder for them to kill. Like if they just have a bolt, then we lose if we go for that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for Narset. Kind of weird. They also do get to draw a card, one card. Okay. Now let's just pass. I mean, they do have a million mana and this Wishclaw Talisman. So they might just be able to get us with Upheaval if they have that in their deck. That would have happened even if we went for the the Hull Breacher line. We could have gone for Shieldred, I guess, but then they just have 7 cards. I don't think that would be better necessarily. How much mana do they actually have? This makes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So yeah, I mean if they have Upheaval in their deck, I think we actually lose. That's kind of annoying. This is probably a matchup where you have to cut Wishclaw Talisman. Tinker. Okay, we'll see what they can get with this. What? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe they just wanted to conceal information. Or like they only had Portal to Phyrexia, which is bad or something. I'm not sure. Their deck is busted though. Double Mox, Tolarian Academy, Tinker. Very scary matchup, but I'm happy to be able to steal game 1. Do we want to make any changes? Against a Tinker deck, I definitely think we do want this. Probably don't need this. Guess I will play this, even though they can go over the top of it. So similar switches. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna run it like this. Let's secure that trophy, baby. We see more of their deck. There's a chance we could play Phantasmal Image as a, like if they are playing Mirror Battlesphere. Yeah, I think Wishclaw Talisman is just too much of a liability against their deck. I don't know exactly what they have. They must not have Upheaval because they would have just played Upheaval and been ahead. Or yeah, yeah, I don't think they would have Upheaval in their deck. But still, Wishclaw Talisman against the deck that can make infinite mana is just very, very scary. Ugh. And we have this combo. We need to draw a land. I think I'm gonna risk it. It's land light though, which is not good in this matchup. Definitely a matchup where you want to have just hit land drops every turn. Okay, good draw. Does not make white mana, so we don't have no more lies yet. Candelabra, okay, that's good with Tinker. Think if they just pass the mana up, I will also do the same and just plan on playing Brain Surge end of turn. They tap out for Urza or Relic of Sauron or something like that, then I will counter. Ah, yikes. So we are going to have to discard the hand size here. I guess we discard Preordain because we're constrained on blue mana. Like these soft counters are not great. Yeah, I mean that just like is net plus a mana for them. Spell Pierce and No More Lies might be kind of tough to get value out of. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. That adds 3 mana. Jesus Christ, their deck. Yeah, these counter spells are just so bad in this matchup. Counter unless they pay 5, just so underpowered. It's brutal. We're never going to get any value out of these cards no matter what. So you might as well stop them from drawing cards off of this relic. Okay, nice. We drew the land. That's huge. Now we can just go for our combo and hope they don't have something. I think that's our best bet because it's not going to get better from here. This is probably just our best window. They don't have Mystic Confluence mana. We don't have Spell Pierce mana. So I guess we could get punished by if they have like a 3 mana counter. Remand. Okay. Then I will minus here. Sure, Ancestral. I think that's better than one of these soft counters. And then the Narset does shut down the Relic from drawing cards. It also shuts down Soul Guide Lantern from drawing cards. They have like as much mana as they could ever need, and and we have nothing. There are nothing like no counter magic up. So this is a very scary position. But we do have Baleful Mastery, and we are ready to combo next turn. Even if they kill the Narset, we could try to get there with Sheoldred. So yeah, if we could, it's not. I mean, it really just depends on what's in their hand. That's bad. Well, I mean, it's not good. It's not actually horrible though. Because we have an answer to it. The problem is they can just draw a million cards, and yeah, I mean, I think it's very, very unlikely we can win this. This exiles non-land colored permanents. Right, we'll see what their tinker target is. Okay. If we top deck land, we have Sheoldred, Time Twister up. That would hit them for 14. It would not be enough to kill them. Zerda doesn't do anything here. Now they have infinite mana. They don't have anything in play that makes that kill us, but feels like a very tough game for us to win. We shot our shot. We had a chance. You know, we had multiple counter spells up, and then we had our combo, but our counters were just not enough. think we don't have any sideboard changes to make though, unfortunately, so we just need to hope it's good enough. I don't think they can kill us. They've been able to exile like 6 things, but joke's on you, we have no permanents. So I think our chance of winning this game are like almost exactly 0. But what we're gonna try is Shieldred into Baleful Mastery on the Ugin. Hope they have like just nothing in their top 20 million cards. And then I think I'm gonna main phase this Ancestral to gain some life. Pass turn, and then we can kill them next turn. But the problem is they have 3 cards in their hand. They can draw 1 off of this. They can draw 2 off this. They have infinite mana. They have Shelduck Isle. They also can give any creatures haste. They have Portal to Phyrexia to kill this. I mean, that on its own is not enough. We can Fractured Identity, their shield, their portal, and then take their, like, kill all their creatures. Their deck is completely busted. 3 Moxen. Like, if their dot draw will just destroy us. Again, like, we could pass with multiple counterspells up on turn 1 or 2 and still just, like, doesn't even matter. Right? Land. Fractured Identity this. Just tap 1 land for 10 mana while they also have infinite mana. Okay, you got me. Tough game. This is probably not a very good matchup. But the fight goes on. Portal Phyrexia. So they a lot of their top end is secretly pretty bad against us actually. Kind of funnily. Let's just run it back. But yeah, Portal Phyrexia quite weak. Their Coveted Jewel also pretty weak, or at least weak against Hullbreacher, Narset, and only okay against Shieldred. So in a lot of ways that we actually have some things going for us. Oh wait, this Stern Scolding is probably terrible. Does hit Urza. I guess I'll leave it in. Yeah, I think I will leave it in just like for hitting Urza and maybe like 1 or 2 other things. Too bad that it does not hit their Kahira or their Zerda or whatever, their companion dude. Um but yeah, like their top end is bad against us, but our counters are bad against them. Kind of a weird situation. I'm gonna keep this hand. Funny that we have 2 white lands and no black lands when we have so few white lands in our deck, but definitely holding up Spell Pierce. I will counter Mox very, very happily. Can we draw our own Mox for turn 2 Hullbreacher into turn 3 Time Twister? Well, the first part is yes. I think I am just gonna jam here. If they have remand, it's fine. It's not great, not terrible. Shieldred is a tough draw here when we have no black lands. We did lose one black source. Like this plains. No, I think we cut 2 islands actually. I think it's yeah, would have been an island, so I actually don't even think it changed it. Yeah, I'm gonna cast this now so they can't counter. Then we could fracture identity, but it's so weak here. Come on. Gotta give me a break with all these Solarian Academies. Oh, are they gonna tinker? That would be kind of hilarious. Kappa Cannoneer. I think we're pretty much just dead. Yeah, tough game. It's gonna pass. I mean, I don't think it makes sense to fracture identity something. It does take them off of a mana, but there's a chance that they go for Portal to Phyrexia or Coveted Jewel, and we could fracture identity that. We could also maybe race. I mean, it sucks that we couldn't hit with Colonnade that turn, but like Sheoldred's good at racing. Basic Island, worst possible. By a lot, actually. Like any other draw would have been at least okay. Maybe not Spell Pierce. We actually might lose because we did not take out their Mox Opal, funnily enough, because they wouldn't have white mana. Take 9. Untap Infernal Grasp. Okay. No, I don't think that does it. Guess we pass. And then if they somehow don't have an artifact, we could win. That sucks because we actually like if it was another artifact that didn't give them mana for Colonnade. Oh wait, no, they don't have white mana for Colonnade. It is actually theoretically still possible we could win. We are dead to Portal, or we're not dead to Portal to Phyrexia, but basically dead. They go for stock up. Okay. We need to make sure we have uh, ways to block their Colonnade. Unless we top deck a removal spell, I guess. Could also just draw a draw 7. That would not necessarily win, but it would probably win. We could fracture identity that, but then we just die to the Colonnade. Is there any path to victory here? I don't think so. We could put Urza, if we had one more life, we would actually be actively winning, I think. Because we could play Sheoldred and just be ahead. But now I think we have to just bluff something and die to Colonnade. Again, also, if we could take out their Mox Opal, we would have it. But we have to fracture identity the Urza, or else we just die to the Urza. Colonnade kills us. So close. So close. Man. They still just have the kill on board. Yeah, tough one. We lose in the finals. Very, very close game. The whole match was close. Maybe there was a path to victory there. I'm not sure. I mean, certainly also if we just had black mana for Shieldred earlier, we would have won easily. But we just had like Shieldred with no white or no black mana. Tough way to go out. Of course, we would love the trophy, but a really, really sweet league and a sweet deck. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.